Say hello to OpenAI's new Sora video model. You've probably already seen the insane videos that have sparked joy, concern, and a full understanding that the future is here. But what you may not be considering is where the value is going. So we're going to walk you through which industries are going to be erased and pinpoint where that new value will be captured. OpenAI has leveled up again with the announcement of Sora. Based on the technical documentation and in a gross oversimplification, the model works by breaking up the image into tokens that run through a transformer model, the T that made everything possible and all of your emails sound more better. OpenAI's co-founder and chief computer scientist Ilya Sutskever said a year before Sora's launch that a neural network's ability to generate text and predict the next word is a projection of what it means to be human.
This text is actually a projection of the world, and the neural network learns a compressed, abstract, usable representation of that. This is what's being learned from accurately predicting the next word.
Now, if text is that vital to understanding our world, video elevates that understanding to a different level. But of course, there are people who argue against that point, like Meta's chief AI scientist, Jan LeCun.
It doesn't work for video. What works for text doesn't work for video.
But we're not here for a nerd war, nerds as we may be. OpenAI announced Sora, the internet went crazy, Sam Altman took requests like an eager DJ, and one thing became pretty clear pretty quickly. Sora is going to erase a few businesses and hand that value to new ones. Let's look at the most obvious one, the stock footage industry. In 2022, research firm Ariston released a report where they estimated that the $4.7 billion stock image and footage industry would reach $7 billion by 2027, bolstered by the increase in content needs for advertisers, brands, companies, and creators. Shutterstock is considered to be a market leader in the stock content world. In 2021, the company made a deal with OpenAI that allowed the AI startup to train its models on Shutterstock's vast library of images and videos. In exchange, Shutterstock would get priority access to the models. The partnership expanded in 2023 with a new 6-year agreement. A deal with Daredevil, some would say, with a new tool that allows anyone to get any image or video they want at a pretty high quality and adjustable through a text interface. The underlying business model of an industry that was supposed to near $8 billion in just a few years is essentially wiped out. In the medium term, virtual effects, production, and 3D video generation is another industry that will be upended by the new model. The nearly $400 billion animation industry that features players like Pixar, Netflix, and Disney, as well as tons of players in the anime space, will see a massive disruption as the technological moat drops significantly. Alternatively, Quest and the Vision Pro have created a glimpse into the future of VR, and it's very 3D reliant. Companies like Unity and Unreal Engine that power the creation of these unique visual and gaming experiences are going to be permanently changed by Sora's advancement. These players represent a market that is expected to account for almost $80 billion in less than a decade. But the industry risks being over-reliant on AI video models to serve their customers, making them more similar to wrappers than the foundations that help builders create. This new glob of value isn't being destroyed, it's being transferred. In fact, it splits into two buckets, with the value going to the underlying tech and the individual. Think of it this way. Rather than an entire team of animators, virtual effects, lighting specialists, and more, an individual with a story to share will be able to create and distribute a story at high speed and efficient cost. And creating new worlds in the gaming and VR space will be streamlined and available to the individual creator. And as far as the stock footage industry, the wipeout may also be just a rebrand. The idea of going to these sites and purchasing 10 seconds of footage will fade. But high quality data is the only way OpenAI or any competitor will be able to create a usable model. It essentially shifts every B2C stock site to a B2B video supplier. OpenAI may also enlist an army of stock filmmakers to collect certain scenarios that are missing from the model. And of course, the other bucket. It's worth mentioning the default winners of any AI model that requires more compute are the providers of the compute and the chip makers that provide the providers with the ability to host that compute. It's an unbreakable law of AI business. Speaking of AI and business, Synapse is the best way to stay on top of the business side of this fast-moving industry. So go ahead, do the right thing. It's free. Subscribe. OpenAI isn't alone in creating a video model. There's plenty of competition from Google's Lumiere, which has some strong example videos, and Runway ML, which has been positioning itself as the future of video creation for a while now. But OpenAI has the best first impression so far. And some industries won't be recognizable once it becomes a part of everyday life.